and welcome to the SmackDown preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we don't review SmackDown with something. The show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Got to change it again, but thankfully our brilliant producer has put amazing new graphics on our screens for those watching on YouTube with the Netflix, because we get it on Netflix, of course.
We do.
3 hours for the time being, SmackDown.
Yes. I'm sporting a black armband and sleeves and a jacket today to mourn the end of the 3 hour era.
It started last week.
It was a magic time. And then Triple H went on Pat McAfee's show and he was like, yeah, it's back to 2 in June. So we had a, you'll never change. Ric Flair, leave the memories alone. Run.
Yeah, I did think, well, what's the constraints? But that's because I'm thinking we get it all, Raw, SmackDown, NXT on Netflix. But of course, they're on USA.
That's right. Which is interesting considering that everything we're talking about is cinema. So the fact it's on any small screen at all is, that just, I guess, shows the reach of SmackDown. The versatility of the blue brand.
Speaking of WWE cinema, I've got something I want to get back to a little bit later on surrounding a wrestler. He's sort of been out the headlines for a while, but I want to bring some attention back to him. He's called The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about him in due course. Have you got, we're a bit delayed starting today. You haven't got the time, have you?
Haven't.
Well, because it's Tiffy time. Tiffy time is now. She is your new world champion, of course. The big story coming off the back of last week's SmackDown. Very excited to see how they follow this one up.
Yeah, it's. We did talk last week, didn't we, about the prospect of this happening, because it felt like the 3 hour new SmackDown, new network thing was going a little bit under the radar because WWE were going so hard with the Raw promotion.
Yeah,
and this felt like that nice headline-making moment that wasn't such a big headline that it would take away attention from the thing that it was all steam ahead towards. So you can kind of see what happened last week. And because a lot of people, with you leading the charge for several months now, have been looking at the prospects of this Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, maybe like, I don't know, like passing of the torch type thing. Like Tiffany Stratton has been the princess to Queen Nia, but now will presumably consider herself a queen once again. Charlotte Flair is the original, where am I, man? Is the original queen of all of this. So the idea of them having this WrestleMania match, it would probably be one of Tiffany's best. It would be an interesting test to see if Charlotte can still do that kind of WrestleMania banger a couple of years on from her last one. You could start the wheels in motion at the Royal Rumble when presumably you wrap up business between Tiffany and Nia.
Yes.
You could definitely get one more match out of those two. I know there's temptation to put Nia Jax in the Rumble, because, well, men's and women's, she's been really entertaining in them over the years. But that rematch and that business getting wrapped up at the Rumble feels logical when you're going to be crowning a Rumble winner on the same night.
Just thinking there, off the top of my head, oh, yeah, that's the point. She's not winning it back when she faces Tiff for an inevitable rematch. Nia Jax versus Jordan Grace at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. Well, like Jordan Grace is the one that, like, Nia Jax loses to Tiffany Stratton on the undercard, bullies her way into the Rumble, and then gets, like, eliminated by Jordan Grace or somebody else just for that, like, inter-promotional. Who even knows that it's going to be that by then.
Yeah.
That sort of big first arrival win for Jordan Grace. She's actually, she's probably not working the Rumble because she's been announced for TNA Genesis against Tessa Blanchard. And everything we've seen so far suggests that, like, Jordan Grace is, like, absolutely fine, and she's definitely going to be working in TNA for many a year to come upon making decisions such as hiring Tessa Blanchard.
Did you see this the way I saw it? Not the TNA announcement of the match, but the person showing the clip of Austin Aries losing the title and storming out, and basically people saying that's going to be Jordan Grace in late January.
Getting the hell out of there. Yeah, she hasn't been shy, I guess, about the tweets about like Tessa's return, and obviously has memories of working with her the last time, and all the controversy around Tessa Blanchard. So it does feel like what we all already assumed about Jordynne Grace in the Rumble feels still true.
I was going to mention this because WWE tweeted with the image of the new champ with all pyro going off. Who should the first title defense be against? The top reply here from Rhodes Kota era says Tongaloa, along with some other people saying, unfortunately, Nia Jax, which I disagree with. But a good point from Miracle Man, Christian Miracle, that is, because we were trying to work out how they do that with Nia and the Rumble and what have you. Mm-hmm. Because I don't often think they always, it's like 5 matches in it, even the big cards are generally sort of smaller in terms of the number of matches than compared to a WrestleMania, of course. Mm-hmm. Rematch at Saturday night's main event, that clears Nia for the Rumble.
I like that a great deal, yeah. Saturday night's main event is the week before the Rumble. 7 days before the Rumble. So
what a weekend that's going to be.
Oh, my God. We were looking at the poster this morning of Jey Uso.
Yeet!
They've decked him out in red, white, and blue, as you would imagine, for the Saturday night's main event poster. But the yeet in his glasses. It's red, white, and blue ropes.
Oh, my God.
That's why they're on top. Despite Monday's Raw, this is why they're on top.
I have a confession. I told Andy this on the news today.
Okay.
I quite like The Rock.
Right.
And you remember before I told you, I'm quite an irresponsible parent, really. And Louise does a lot of the heavy lifting.
Okay.
I taught Eric to yeet.
Fantastic.
A while back. Mm-hmm. I may have got him on board with the chee-hoo.
I can't hate that. It's Moana. It's of whatever, like, Samoan heritage thing as well, but that is because it's in Moana. It's a catchphrase from a kid's film.
Make way, make way. I've still not watched the first Moana all the way through, you know.
Have you seen Moana 2?
No.
I was going to say, I thought you'd seen Moana 2 and not.
Don't need to. Chew!
Yeah, well, Moana's absolutely good. It's like, no wonder.
There's like a chicken in there, isn't there? I've got a lot of affinity with that chicken. I think me on a lot of these podcasts is represented by the Moana chicken.
There's
Hey.
Yeah, hey. It cannot do a f***ing thing. It's a useless.
Hey.
It's a chicken on Moana. It cannot do anything. It sort of pecks in circles. There's a point where the Rock's character grabs it by the neck and goes, boat snack, and we're supposed to laugh at the idea of him eating the chicken.
Yeah. What's he doing?
He's choking it at the same time.
He's choking his chicken?
Yeah. Mona, more like. Needless to say, the chicken gets them in all sorts of scrapes, and yet they persist with it nonetheless.
What's Hey doing now?
Yeah, it's because it's thick as
It sounds like a lot of comparisons between the chicken and the Rock on Monday Night Raw.
Disagree, but...
just saying.
Do you want to do it now, actually? Because Matt Range, you may have seen, pointed this out to me. And, I am fully on board. Because a lot of people out there were questioning The Rock, whether or not he's still the GOAT. He is. I could disagree with you about that, but then we'd both be wrong. And he had to be corporate Rock on Monday. Mm-hmm. But we got the real Rock on NXT. Don't say anything. On New Year's Evil. Do you remember what he said on that show, putting everyone, you included, in your place? Apart from how much time he had left and just effing and jeffing all over the place.
I was going to say, you think for how long he spoke for, I can remember anything of it. And yet, some total bollocks about this false equivalency he did, where it was like, last year they were saying, oh, don't beat up Cody. And then this year they're saying, oh, beat up Cody. It's kayfabe, you dumb idiot. You were born into this business. You not get it. And then something along the lines of, you silly, silly people, you stupid fools. You want to get on the ride with The Rock.
And he said he was 20 steps ahead, correct? Weird choice of words, that, isn't it? You know,
everything he said was a weird choice of words. He called himself the sexiest man alive.
Hang on, there's a button for that.
And folks, where's the lie?
I will stop recording.
He will leave.
I will do that.
For the second time this week, he will walk out of a podcast recording. It's a weird choice of words, though, isn't it? You know, you'd say you're 2 steps ahead, 3 steps ahead, 5, 10, 20. It's a weird number, isn't it? Weird number. Unless, as at WWE as Cinema has pointed out on X. And again, as WWE as Cinema.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
Has pointed out, you like your calendars, don't you? You bloody love your dates.
That's all I ever talk about is calendars, yeah.
New Year's Evil was January 7th, correct? Mm-hmm. And can you do some quick maths for me? You might need your phone for this one. 7 plus 20, what's that?
It's 27.
Yeah, 27. January 27, that was that. That's a Monday. Anything happening on that Monday?
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw, isn't there? Yes. Oh, and the Roman Reigns acknowledgement ceremony. Coincidence? I think not.
All right, then.
Good. Okay, moving on.
I don't mind having a bit of fun with these conspiracies. I don't mind a bit of law, compared to a lot of people's hatred of it. I don't mind a bit of it. It sounds a reasonable thing to speculate on. It's a big Raw already. It's the Atlanta Raw. It's rumored to be Goldberg's big announcement of something. It's the 27th. So it's the sweet spot Raw because it's perfect for you. It's Saturday night's main event. Fallout in his Royal Rumble. Go! So there's 2 bullet points taken care of before we even get to this. So you'll probably be totally comfortable as the OTJ to stick your neck out and just outright report this.
Well,
is this you putting a marker down now and just saying 27th, look forward to it, get hyped. We'll get back in the office and you say, Sid, can you stick this in your work diary, please? That we're going to have to mention what The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to do to set up their match, because Dave Meltzer said that Dave Meltzer, the preeminent,
what does he know?
Preeminent wrestling journalist, and the reason why we're all here.
Oh yeah, good point. Did he report CM Punk's return, or did he?
Well, he said
put his neck on the line.
Well, he said
his neck of his, but he wasn't on any lines, was it?
But he said,
got all them papers.
Cody, remember the match you fantasy books better than anyone on the internet? Remember that? Well, that's dead.
Yeah.
Meltzer reported it. I could report it watching Raw live, quite honestly. But Meltzer reported it. It's dead.
Breaking news.
Yeah. He then said, Roman and all, that's dead. Forget about that. There was a caveat, unless Rock changed his mind, but that's a caveat for anything. I got a theory on that. We'll get to that in a second. So he's not, I guess, as willing to go as far as to outright rule out that the 27th of January might indeed be mind-changing night. For
Funny you said that after I've reported it.
So are you sticking your name on this one?
This is the thing, right? Obviously, I'm the only journalist left after CM Punk returned to Survivor Series in 2023.
Yeah.
There's been no other reporters for the last year and a bit. But my big thing is I don't like spoilers. I don't like spoiling things for people, and I particularly don't like spoiling Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania for people. So I'll just say, keep an eye out. And then if he doesn't show up, I'll just say he's going to be in the Rumble. And then if not, I'll say he's in the Chamber. And then if not, I'll just say he's at Mania to set his name on fire. I don't care.
Next day, he'll be screaming at people, why didn't you listen to me? Funny mention setting his name on fire. How was that live, Nicholas, by the way?
What's that?
The Rock setting his name on fire.
Oh, sorry, I've just remembered because I've used therapy to get rid of it for years. Yeah, it was a long time, guys. It was probably 27 minutes, probably. Yeah, he's 20 steps ahead.
32? Texas?
32 what?
WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, the number of it?
How
many times I wanted to punch myself in the face? Yeah, he's got 27. Yeah, good stuff.
You saw him wrestle last year. You can't want this.
What?
The Rock setting his name on fire.
It's Vegas. I'll take anything.
That's fair enough. Well, yeah. So, right, this is my theory on The Rock. Because of, just everything he did this week to ruin my fun. Yeah. And then the segment with Ethan Page on NXT.
Oh.
I think a unique opportunity has revealed itself on the WWE main roster at the moment. And there will be a quiet competition going on. Nobody can outright say what they're doing and why they're doing it, but they're all doing it right. And I currently have Karrion Kross as the front runner in my head, but there will be others. Watch this little horse race to see who gets the nose in front in this particular category, right? There will now be, I think Grayson Waller's going to be in amongst that as well. There is going to be a very specific category that goes otherwise unlabeled until the night of WrestleMania itself of person who is willing, in a fairly tightly booked era, to kind of present themselves as a bit of a clown should Triple H get a call in the middle of Sunday's show saying The Rock's turned up in a helicopter in 10 minutes and he wants to rock bottom a mid-carder.
Yes.
So watch now for the people that want television time ostensibly to sort of do nothing. Like, other than, like, the kind of the heel R-Truth. If we're taking The Rock as a babyface.
Well, if you're suggesting that, and I think it's very valid to suggest that, and also just a quick point, if, as Dave reports, he has changed his mind or does change his mind and fancies facing Roman, what happens to CM Punk? Because Cody's main eventing with that world title one way, and then the other night, they can't have 3 nights of WrestleMania as much as I'd want it.
Well, imagine the sort of like ultimate irony of that, right, would be that if The Rock changes his mind, and let's say they've booked Punk versus Roman, as feels possible, maybe even probable at the moment, and that's like Punk gets screwed out the Rumble or something like that, and the favour ends up being, Paul, I've only got one favour to ask, and it's for you to ask a question. Ask your boy if he's brave enough to fight me at WrestleMania, and that's how the match gets set up. The Rock changing his mind and making that a triple threat. Like, the ultimate irony is that Punk gets his main event in the exact way he pitched it all those years ago.
Yeah, what he wanted.
We'll do a triple threat and I'll get pinned in seconds. No, we can't do a triple threat for the main event of WrestleMania. Punk, big news, it's a triple threat. And guess what? He loved what you pitched in like WrestleMania 29, so he's going to rock bottom you in the first couple of minutes, and then we'll get him and Roman.
Well, you know what's better than a rock bottom? 2 rock bottoms.
Right.
So I'm thinking...
A second rock bottom.
Yes, boy!
Brilliant.
I've watched a clip of them on Sheamus's workout thing, and I think it might be the best one he's ever done.
Right. Okay.
They are, I mean, me, but for you two, just incredibly annoying, but I enjoy them greatly.
I love Pretty Deadly. They're absolutely in the conversation. We can start thinking of it now, like, watch on screen for who's keeping themselves just visible enough that they're not going to have a match, but they might get that spot.
Is there no chance of him turning up on SmackDown tonight, The Rock? Because, like, doing the rounds of all 3. Like when Punk did the rounds of all 3, do you remember?
Yeah.
That's Sidge's trifecta, isn't it? Appearing on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, yeah.
That's what he calls the perfect wrestling week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possibly. He was not technically advertised for NXT until he was 24 hours earlier, because that's when he obviously decided to do it. Mm-hmm. So the likelihood of The Rock turn up on SmackDown is based on if The Rock wakes up today and fancies going to SmackDown, isn't it? I don't think it needs him. I think I've had all my fill of The Rock this week.
Does it ever need him?
Yeah.
Careful. AI has predicted the WrestleMania 41 card. It's been doing this for a while now, but I saw this thread and I thought I'll give it a look. And then I thought, well, if this card comes off, I'd love to know Michael Hamflett's thoughts on it. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, I hate AI. I'll hear it anyway, but I hate it.
Unless it's creating a picture of, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a Spy Right shirt.
We've all made funny pictures.
Yeah.
Some of us have made funny songs.
Yeah. I have... was that like old? There was an old president once. Yeah, that's it. I have experimented with AI in college.
Yes, I did inhale. Kind of the point.
But I don't like it fundamentally. I remember reading a take when it was really starting to become as accessible as it is now with your chat GPT and whatever the meta one is.
Grok.
Grok. Remember my app?
Can we we've ruined Twitter. Can we find a worse name for AI? What about Grok? If you smell what the Grok is ruining.
Don't search it. Grok it. It's... Anyway, yeah, it became obviously just on everybody's phone or on everybody's apps or whatever, when it was a bit more of a paid thing that people had to buy into.
Yes.
Which ultimately was what helped make it bigger, because the more you feed it, the smarter it gets, and so on and so on. The big takeaway that I've never been able to switch off then, and not just because it makes me fear for my job and the jobs of my kids and the jobs of all of us and the future of everything.
Could never do this.
Is because it's... Somebody said it. It was like, imagine, right, like sort of 30, 40 years ago when they were still making like films and TV about cars in space and the like, right, about like the year 2025 and whatnot. And AI is an actual thing, and it's like, you know what, you're going to have telephones in your pocket, and it's going to have a button on where it can magic all this stuff for you. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, that element of it is the sort of stuff they might have called. But back in the past, where they didn't have banter. They had hopes and dreams, just no banter. The hopes and dreams about technology was like improving the functional world. So it was like AI should be frigging like sort of doing all the tasks in your day that you can't be asked of to free you up for the fun of creativity and the fun of art.
Yeah, no.
And what AI is doing is speed running art and creativity so we can get back to the drudgery.
Yeah. You put in the data, and I'll do all the fun creative stuff.
Can AI load my washing machine, please? Like, I don't want it to do the washing up. I need that time with podcast. But
And don't hang the washing for me either, because...
No, AI, it's exactly what AI should be doing. Yeah. I've heard you two go on about how the washing gets hung wrong in the house, right? I sort of have to sit back from that one because I listen to you two and I realise it's the other way in my house and I'm getting it wrong. And
okay,
I think Adele's doing a bit of correcting.
Sorry, Adele.
When I leave the room, but that's what AI should be doing. We need Grok to hang the washing up.
Well, whoever it was,
Hoover, that little f***ing disc. Shape of food that I enjoy, that like hoovers your house.
Yes.
That should be AI.
What's it called? I forget what they're called.
You know them, Nicholas?
I know them well. I don't know the names of them, but I know
called something, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hoovers.
Hoove or something. It's got like a...
Robot Hoover. Yeah, that's what... Roomba.
Yeah, that's fat.
Roomba. That's what AI should be.
Yeah.
Roomba. Because that's like using some sort of like robotic intelligence to be like, oh, nothing to pick up here, I'll move somewhere else. That's it, to boil it down. I don't know the technology of Roomba beyond that.
I think it's more to do with the stuff it's touching. I don't know if it's got that. It might be that smart, but I feel like it's just, have I hit the side?
Yes.
Move.
It's not going, I'm full of dust.
Delicious. It's like Homer Simpson following donuts.
Isn't that what Roman Reigns says before he hits the spear as well?
Roomba!
Sorry, what's more with both of you?
Sorry.
Roomba! There you go, Brian. Roman Reigns setting up in a little room bar in the ring, make it all nice.
Or just have some fun with us and AI. That can't possibly go wrong.
Oh, God.
So anyway, AI has pitched this WrestleMania card. You can
ChatGPT and Grok are the new D's Nuts and the Butthole. It's the two of them just in a like imagined studio, like that awful Spotify DJ. Like, yeah, hey, Mike Howell, I can see what you've been listening to. Do you like Block Party? Here's 6 bands that sound f***ing nout like them.
So, I'll run you through this card. Maybe you can even guess some of the matches on there.
Okay.
Night 1 opener.
Oh, bloody hell.
Celebrity heavy, this.
Oh, gosh.
Opener.
Right. Logan Paul versus John Cena.
Oh, you're half right. Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny. Oh, cool. Best WrestleMania opener.
Okay, all right.
I like this because we've sort of speculated on how this is going to go, and we'll get into tonight's US title match.
Yeah.
US title ladder match, 4 people.
Oh, God. Has AI just gone to the boring stadium manias of the 2010s just to knock this card together?
It's a ladder match. It's never boring.
LA Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, man.
Come
on, you can get this.
Andrade.
Bing! Hang on, there's a button for this.
Bingo! It's boring. Don't use AI to be creative.
Are you AI? Is that what I'm discovering? Yeah.
I'm more interested in that.
You are AI.
I think Knight retains in this AI scenario.
I've got that WWE ID for the development on WWE AI. That's all along. That was just how I could remember some rubbish pay-per-view.
They're getting you in your sleep, just taking your encyclopedic memory.
It is a bit of me, this WrestleMania card as well. WWE Women's World Championship. That's the one on Raw, if you're a bit like me and you can't remember which one's which.
Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
Ooh.
No, dear, that's wrong.
You were close.
Raw. Why can't
You've pitched this.
Oh, God. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair?
No, dear, that's wrong.
No, because she's on SmackDown.
One of the best WrestleMania builds ever had a tug of war with the title. Think of that.
Oh, got you. Rhea Ripley versus Brock Lesnar.
No, dear, that's
I
wrong.
did something like that, but no. They've just had a tug of war with this belt. And you got excited by it. It wasn't really a tug of war.
I can't remember
They
this.
both grabbed it at the same time.
I'm getting old. I mean, we're all in our 30s fact, but I'm getting old. Go on. Tell me so I can...
Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky.
Of course, yeah. That is the match. I hate myself.
Then this is a bit wild.
I cannot tell you how much anger I'm going to feel about this hours later. That's Friday night ruined.
It's a bit wild, this next pitch from AI. Hell in a Cell!
Of course.
Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill.
I mean, I could get on board, I guess. Yeah.
And finally, the main event of night one.
Yeah.
World Heavyweight Championship, obviously. Who you got?
The World Heavyweight title. Gunther? Bingo! Still got Gunther versus... What would AI do? By the way, is the WrestleMania logo just all lowercase WrestleMania letters apart from AI?
Yeah, it hasn't done this. People have, I think they've just put it in and gone, I'll just take the pictures. I'll do the pictures myself.
Seth Rollins.
Well, I'm going to give you that. Because AI thought, how do I keep everyone on social media happy? You're half right. It's Gunther versus Seth Rollins. Oh, sorry, versus John Cena versus CM Punk. It's a four-way.
Got you. Yeah. All right.
What about who leaves? Who leaves as the? Oh, Gunther leaves as champion.
He just retains in a four-way.
Yeah. Anyway,
don't love it.
night 2 opener. Think of this show that we're talking about right now.
Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair.
Love that. And look at that. Someone's not. You just found a graphic that someone's not.
I mean, that's how you get me. Because when people are making WrestleMania graphics now with AI or just with their own ability, which is what you should use because your ability is precious and amazing, the Vegas aesthetic never misses, does it?
Would you have Charlotte, just because we are talking about SmackDown and I'll get back to it, would you have Charlotte debut, return before Rumble, or have her be the surprise and have Becky Lynch return before? Because they're both, by reports today, Becky on Raw, Charlotte on SmackDown. Yeah. So you could have them both return beforehand, you could have them both return at the Rumble, or
good cue
50-50.
Good cue. What's my A? I think Charlotte wins the Rumble. So I guess I'll answer your question with a question. What's the more exciting way for Charlotte Flair to win a Rumble? As a complete surprise entrant, or as the person that turns back up on SmackDown, puts everyone on notice, and then actually follows?
It depends what you want her to be, because I think she's far better as a heel. But then again, I think Tiff's far better as a heel, but everyone loves her, so maybe she has to
actually reached the point where people might just have love for Charlotte Flair based on longevity. Like, she's been gone a long time. She felt like she was barely back before she tore every bone in her body. Like, tore every muscle in her body, broke every bone in her body. Had to fix that one because you'd have been cross. Think about that. So yeah, I feel like you might get a bit of a legacy babyface run out of her now.
Maybe. Tiff's a great heel if you want to do something like that.
Just that she's replaced her, just say you passed it or something.
Nia interferes, costing Tiff the match, according to AI.
AI like that. It just loves the sort of Route 1 stipulations, interference, more, doesn't it?
Yeah. Then it's got. You're not going to guess. Well, you might guess it, but new bloodline fallout. I'll call this.
Usos versus Guerrillas of Destiny.
No.
Am I close though?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Think of other people in the new bloodline.
Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa.
Bingo! Might as well.
Not impossible. Not impossible.
Then a last man standing match between.
What? Just on the show?
Yeah.
Oh.
A bit like Jade and Bianca though. It's not like this would just be out of nowhere.
Ah, okay.
Blue brand as well.
SmackDown last man standing.
Oh Jesus, AI.
I'm trying to avoid certain people.
You're not getting your dream. I'll spoil it right now. Sami Zayn isn't on this card as far as I can see, so that might help you with this one.
Oh, right, okay. Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes?
All close. Kevin Owens versus...
Randy Orton.
Bingo! IC title, it's Braun Breaker versus...
Sheamus.
Yes, who squashes Breaker in 2 minutes with a brogue kick. Bronson Reed returns. He's not returning.
Bronson
AI.
Reed returns, yeah, just... if AI can fix him up as a function, why not?
AI apparently unaware that there's 2 lots of tag titles because this is the only tag title match that is booked. You've mentioned them. You just mentioned them.
Did I? Cody Rhodes?
No, tag team. Best tag team ever.
Usos.
The Usos. Thank you.
Bingo! Versus...
Come on, you got this.
They're champions right now.
DIY.
Bingo!
You're all right, thanks. Put that one back.
It's booked another Hell in a Cell match here.
A second Hell.
I'm just going to tell you this one just to see your reaction.
Okay.
Hell in a Cell, Damian Priest versus Demon Finn Balor, Korea versus Korea.
Off. Did everything.
Yeah. And then I think main event night 2.
Roman versus a punker.
No, Punker's on night 1.
What was he? I was in a 4. He was in a 4. Yeah,
He was in a four-way.
4. Yeah. Roman Reigns versus The Rock.
Oh, close.
Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Last man standing, obviously.
I don't mind Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I think we've really talked about this.
And The Rock comes out to close the show, sorry.
Yes, that's his name on fire. Everyone goes,
And,
I'm happy.
sorry, he just says shakes Drew's hand. Where's Drew in all this? Oh, Drew McIntyre claymores Roman, costing him the match.
And it is revealed that it was...
Oh, no, he hits a crossroads.
What?
I don't know. Oh, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are involved in all this as well. That's a bit of a schmoz for an ending of a night 2 WrestleMania, isn't it?
I don't hate...
What about last year's WrestleMania, but with less legends?
I've seen it thrown around, Cody and Roman, because you can see everything thrown around depending on where you look. And I don't hate it. I think it's... Undertaker and Triple H done it, and it'd be better than that as a trilogy. Rock and Austin did it, and if the match is good, it'll be better than that as a trilogy. 19 was 15 was 17 was all-time good. Jesus Christ. But like, if Roman and Cody's good at WrestleMania 41 or any other WrestleMania, it's a better trilogy. So yeah, there's almost a like interesting new story to tell of Roman Reigns just trying to reclaim it all. You know, like basically it was the reclamation of the Ula Fala, I guess you could say, of the fans, of his standing in wrestling, all that sort of stuff. That's what he spent his time doing since he lost, much in the same way Cody had to spend his time doing things to find his way back. Roman finding his way back, and the dynamic being reversed for the first time of, well, it's that old Bobby Heenanism. It's like the champion doesn't have to win. He just has to not lose. Pressure sits with Roman Reigns all of a sudden. I kind of love that. And I do think there's, like, who doesn't love it when you thought, man, this is still hot enough that you've managed to get 3 years out of it. 3 WrestleMania main events, no less out of it. That would be another reason.
Without people getting tired, yeah.
Well, that's another reason why it would top Austin Rock, because people forget it wasn't the WrestleMania 19 main event. It was the semi-main under Brock and Angle, and it wasn't even promoted as the main because that was Hogan and Vince.
Of course.
On the poster. So, like, it was huge, but because it's Austin and Rock, it always would be. In fact, if you book Roman and Cody at WrestleMania, and it's like, well, we've done the trilogy too, just book Rock and Austin and let them have a quadrilogy. And it's like, well, we're back in front.
Sorry, Punker.
Yeah, back in front. Yeah, I don't mind Roman and Cody. It just feels like, well, at least they're still in storyline, have reason to fight each other, unlike the Rock and Cody or the Rock and Roman. So, yeah.
Let it play out.
20 more days.
Speaking of SmackDown tonight, though, we have a US title match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
Can he regain that US title for you?
No. It's Rumble season, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there's an argument to be made because what was it? Noah? They wanted Shinsuke in there, that they've hot potatoed the title to flip it back to LA Knight. But yeah, it feels like obligatory to do this. And then I do think Shinsuke's he's not holding it till WrestleMania for me. But
yeah, has this been done for that explicit purpose, and now you get the belt back on LA Knight? Because, and I almost can't believe we're potentially going to end up having this conversation, now that he's not US champion, we are kind of back to where we were when he first lost to Roman Reigns, pronoun boy, LA Knight. He needs a direction that involves a big success, otherwise the character can't really exist. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to get derailed. He can be trying to win the Rumble and get eliminated by a person, and there's a bit of a direction. He can be attempting to win the Elimination Chamber because he wants to be the champion, or he wants to head to WrestleMania, whatever the stakes of that are, and he can get attacked or he can get cheated out of it, and then there's your foo-head or whatever. But it always has to feel like LA Knight is shooting for the moon, like top star, and if he's not the top star, what's he doing in the meantime? The US title was perfect for that because everybody knows what it is, but he could elevate it by holding it, So I think he loses here, but it's very much with a view of something for him at WrestleMania. I just don't think...
I don't know what he does at WrestleMania.
No,
right now.
but I kind of think he will get a singles or possibly, we get back to our old friend AI. If there was to be a multi-man for one of them mid-card belts.
I do love them, I have to say.
Do you know why you love them? I don't like to tell you why you think things, sorry. But I think why I think you love them
Probably true.
is because for years, like, they did make WrestleMania like the prize. So just merely getting on the card when so many of your faves were just booked into oblivion, and it was like, 8-man ladder match. Well, that's 8 spots. My favourite might get 5 seconds on WrestleMania. I might get to see the WrestleMania gear and the WrestleMania entrance. Dolph Ziggler had a career of it, didn't
Not if you're Pete Dunne and what's his name?
Indeed, no. Dolph Ziggler had a career of it. The sort of the sad story of him finally getting a singles match and it taking place in the Performance Center. He had gone all them years and never had a WrestleMania singles match. The friggin' Usos couldn't get on the card till 34.
Something like that, yeah.
Like all that sort of thing about like, singles multi-man matches existed, sort of scoop up these mid-carders that get out and be like, here's your prize. And it was such
that or the Andre, isn't it? Basically?
Yeah, such a consolation prize. So LA Knight probably won't want it, but that's how you kind of make those things happen. I don't want it. I don't like the tag team title match last year didn't feel like a consolation prize. If you're going to do consolation prize matches, fake it and at least make believe that they're stories. Like last year, it was the ladder match on night 1 and the Final Testament Pride multi-man on night
with
2.
Bubba.
Yeah. Like, have those because at least you've sort of put together a basic story on TV. Don't just throw on multi-mans and battle royals, I don't think.
With belt theft.
Yeah, don't need it.
Yeah, I think Shinsuke retains here. I think it not for LA Knight. I just think generally it's a step back if you put it back on LA Knight because then you're gonna have to build someone to take it off him. I think it's just easier I don't know what the dynamic's going to be like in terms of heel baby faces taking titles into WrestleMania.
What about this? John Cena fails to win the Rumble.
Yes.
Is eliminated from that Rumble by Logan Paul.
Oh my God.
Because he's in his prime.
Enters the chamber and fails. And in that same sort of period of time, Logan Paul regains the US title from...
New gimmick, though.
Yeah, Logan Paul. Whoa! He's on like zip line. He just keeps tripping over us.
Razor Light entrance. Razor Light?
Stumbling for you. Seeing them now. Seeing them this year.
No, thank you.
No, you don't like
Not a Razor Light guy.
I'm not a Razor Light guy, but I love the first album and that's what they're playing in full.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get everything I need. I've had my fun. And Stumble Fall's the best song, I think.
Yeah.
He wins the belt back and it's him and John Cena for the US title. And he beats John Cena at WrestleMania, in Cena's last WrestleMania.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I think they're booking that match.
Yeah, me too.
And if there's no belt, Cena gets to win, doesn't he? But if there is a title, he might want to put him over. He might sort of want to say, I've seen that Logan Paul has taken this seriously and he's all in and all the rest of the stuff he said. He's not. But like he said all that stuff, hasn't he?
I do hope they do the mist spot with the sunglasses for Shinsuke and LA Knight. And then I don't know if they can live up to their previous match, but we'll have to wait and see tonight.
Indeed.
Speaking of title shots, is Michin getting a rematch against Chelsea Green? She beat Piper Niven, of course, last week.
Yes. You reminded me that we've got Saturday night's main event. It gives you 2 shows to do all this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like 2 destinations, 2 directions. Rumble was 2 Rumbles, 2 title matches and something else last year? Or was it a 4-match card?
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game!
I've created a game I don't want to play because I can't remember the card and I hate myself enough for getting that one wrong earlier on. Right,
There were 2 Rumble matches.
Women's Rumble.
Topping and tailing.
Give me the bingo button, please, because I'm
Okay.
validation off this one.
Give it a bingo.
Bingo!
Men's Rumble.
Bingo!
Oh, that piece of shit 4-way.
Bingo!
Oh, what trash. One of Roman's worst title defenses.
I genuinely have forgotten this match happened.
That was rubbish.
If you're like me, it was... Well, do you want to remind us?
What, the match?
People in it?
Roman Reigns.
Obviously, yeah.
LNIR.
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens. No. That would have made it better. AJ Styles.
Correct.
Wearing the friggin...
Where did this come from? I don't remember this.
I'm a gow. Remember he had his big... AJ Styles' big coat for a bit? That was his rebrand.
Hey, it's January, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but the man doesn't believe in weather. He thinks the Earth's flat.
Good point.
Like
Doesn't believe in weather.
Hey, winter time. Why is it blue? It's what he's saying to his skin because he's not worn his big coat.
And
You know, AJ Styles won the WWE Championship before big coats were invented. You were aware of that?
Right.
Big coats only
When
came around.
did they
in
get invented, Michael? Just out of curiosity.
2018, Nicholas.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because I got one. It was really cold.
we heard this thing called big coats.
My coat purchase.
So what were you wearing in 2017 in winter?
I'll explain what happened. My coat purchase rotation, which is I only buy a new coat when I need one, seasons notwithstanding. Apparently,
Brilliant.
Apparently, it existed since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, like, I go my whole life just getting it. Oh, well, need a new coat. Like, the coat has got holes in it, or the coat's, like, just sort of past its sell-by date. Like, whatever it is.
Probably too jacked, if anything.
Yeah, that's it. When I'm sort of, like, flexing and, oh, no, both sides are torn. Like, you know, occasionally I've been known, my weight has been known to fluctuate, so sometimes the coat doesn't zip up anymore. Need a new coat. So I go and get a new coat. I'm a sweaty person by design, so I don't tend to go for like those. I was poorly designed.
Make it a quote.
Yeah.
I was poorly designed. I believe that. Yeah, it's
Is that like a bit? Is it the Powerpuff Girls when he's like pouring bits in? He's like, oh bollocks!
yeah, definitely. What's the thing? Yeah, I got.
Oh, can we be the three of us be the Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah, why not?
They like there's 2 jars.
Wasn't there meant to be a live action of that getting made? And it got canned, I think, because I'm sure it was pandemic.
I'll look it up.
I'll be goated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jars, if that's the case, and the science of making me. One said sweat, and somebody knocked it all in. And I said, well, now the thing's full already. And we were like, should we just not bother putting any metabolism in? Yeah, he's not going to need that. he's not going to have disordered eating around crisps. He'll be fine. That's as a result why I just never bought coats around weather. I just had a coat. I had I'll have a red coat or a blue coat or whatever, and then that's it.
Colours, that's the most important thing about a coat.
I like
colour.
how, as well, even in this subconscious of yours, I'll have a red coat, I'll have a blue coat.
A Monday and a Friday.
Monday and a Friday coat. Can't wait for my yellow coat in the future that I don't know about yet.
And then it was at the time when, so we were all in the old WhatCulture HQ, which was down on the quayside, and I started in January 2017. It's bloody freezing down here.
Big cold, isn't it?
It is bloody freezing down here. I remember seeing a seal in the Tyne. It was so cold, right? Crossing the Millennium Bridge.
No, don't do it. Resist.
I'm being good.
Resist. Just resist.
And the following year, wouldn't you know it, my red or blue coat was time to be replaced, and it was like November or something. I was like, well, I'm going coat shopping, and like you go getting a coat in wintertime, sure enough, all the coats are big, the big coats.
Sorry, I'm just looking at him because I know he's dying to say something to the effect of, well, without a big coat, you're never going to survive. Look at him.
Was it red?
My brain was either that or...
Was it red? Because it just felt like you've had a kiss from a rose.
I like that, but you go to the shop. What the hell's this? Where's the small coats?
Yeah, they're all massive.
Where's all the red and blue coats?
They're all massive, these.
Excuse me, sir. Can you direct me to your red and blue coats?
And I got like a Parker or whatever.
You should buy in tracksuits, basically, is what you were doing previously.
I've always been a tracksuit jacket person, so I think a lot of them were just my shoot coats. And yeah. So
I'll just buy 2 tracksuits instead.
See, there's people like mine. What's that thing you got on your hood? Like furry, woolly stuff.
And then I got on the train that morning. It was like, I live quite close to the train tracks, so that bit of the walk was never that.
Showing off.
Never that freezing. Yeah, imagine that. Like, I live pretty close to a train. It's really noisy and it shakes your house. That bit of the walk's never cold because it's pretty short. But then I'm sat on the train.
You're in shorts.
Again,
That's where you've gone wrong.
If I could, I would. I'm sat on the train.
No, I mean, with those calves.
And it's like, my God, this is like...
How old are you at this point?
34? 2018, 33. Yeah, 33 going on 34. Oh God, this is like sitting in a cloud. I think I texted Nicholas. I was like, I've never been so...
The thing is, I don't even think you did, because I don't even think we were that close at that point.
I'd have never...
We weren't friends until me and him carried you home.
That's
fair,
yeah.
That was the deal
That's
breaker.
how it all started.
Oh no, that was 2017, so we were definitely on board by then.
Okay.
But I definitely would have mentioned it coming into work. Like, whew, boiling out there today, isn't it? It's because like
someone got the heating on in here.
go to work, from the train station.
You got to remember to take it off when you come inside.
Hands in my pocket, big hood up. I was like, this is like
I'm not ill all the time.
Hawaiian vacation inside here. And it's winter for everybody else because it was brand new to me.
For everybody else?
Yeah.
Like, no one else. Hey, you fools.
Nah, but
you
see,
fools.
No, because other people were used to the big coats by this point. So some of the
I see.
they're not feeling the benefit like I was.
Of 33 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Freezing to death.
But I don't get that cold anyway. I think people, it's that thing I have where like when people say they're cold and I say, well, like put a blanket over you or some gloves or whatever, you pick your own big coat. I think they're soft. Don't put the heating on. You never need the heating on. Because I can't feel it in the same way. So I just choose to not believe that they can feel the cold. It's really insensitive. It's about like when people get ill as well. I'm just like, I grow up. Just don't be ill. It's like when Sid gets panicky about being ill.
Just no cell illness.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man. Who hasn't had a cold?
I'm having this. You got from the man who has zero pain or strife threshold whatsoever. Nobody gets ill. Oh God, is that a runny nose? Oh, I'm dying.
This is part
Lock
of it.
me in the room.
No, this is
I
part
need to
of
be
it.
locked in the room with crisps and telly. That's the only survival technique.
This is part
That's
of
the
it.
strategy. That's why he was
Yeah,
never
that's
wearing
it.
coats.
Oh no, I'm ill again.
My complete lack of a pain threshold, I need to make it clear here, is rooted in the fact that I don't count a cold or whatever as actual pain.
Okay.
It's like because I don't feel pain off it. And I feel pain off most things. So it's like, that can't be a problem. A cold can't be a problem because I don't feel significant pain.
Okay.
Like, oh no, I've torn a bit of my fingernail, now it's bleeding. That hurts for hours. I can't cope with that. Biting your tongue or whatever.
But let's get back to what we were talking about. There is no Powerpuff Girls live action reboot. The series is no longer in development in the CW, although now, with NXT on board,
there might be some money back in the coffers.
Fatal Influence, of course, could be.
And of course, like massive ratings they're drawing on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Who would you like to be? You've got obviously Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. I personally, I'm just going to show you.
Remind me the colours of them.
I never watched Powerpuff Girls.
Remind me the colours.
I'm not. Yeah, I can't. I don't know which one's which. I'd like to claim pink here.
Okay.
It's got a bit of ginger, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So I'll have pink. You got pink, blue, and green. So I'll leave it to you two to fight.
So he's going to have blue. Oh no, you like green though on things, don't you?
I do
You got
like
that green
yeah.
jacket.
You like green.
I like green as a colour. I like blue as a colour. It was one of my two big options.
Yeah, I like how this is funny because you had blue and red for your coats, but then specifically green for food.
Yeah, I like green food and drink. I'll take green actually because on some of these animations it looks like she's farting Mountain Dew. It looks like she's sharting and like she's been just on do.
That means, Nicholas, you get.
Yeah, I'm good with that. That works for me. That works for me.
So a Meechin title shot.
Yeah, that's going in it.
What sort of? Because I like the fact that like she should get. I like their gimmick match. I love the dumpster match.
I'm listening.
Do you do not another dumpster match, but another sort of gimmick match? Because it feels like it plays into Chelsea, that doesn't it?
Yeah, Chelsea Green. We've said this a million times, and I think will end up being proved correct. This character is too lovable to not end up as a baby face, and the more gimmicks you throw at her, the more that becomes obvious.
Yeah.
So like the Statue of Liberty type stuff, the Miss America. Do you remember when they gave that to Kevin Owens because it basically made him a troll? Because it was like sort of because it was Kevin Owens is just everything he does. He can't help but be quite funny and be quite sardonic, and that
Suited and booted, wasn't it?
yeah, that breeds popularity. So it's like, what's the one thing we could should we try and make him look like James Corden? Everybody hates him, and like. That sort of briefly worked, didn't it? He just scaled back everything about himself, and he was that. With her, it just makes it even more popular.
Yeah, I like that.
So what you do is you put her in these daft gimmick situations where she's made to look the clown, made to look the fool. She survives.
Could she make a flag match good?
Yeah, that is absolutely brilliant.
It's gonna be butter, baby. I'm on a roll.
That is the one. A flag match is perfect because most of the time they're trash. But like
They're awful, yeah.
She'd make that good. She could have it a bit like she could steal a bit from MJF. Like it's like the red, white, and green, and like it's instead of the blue stars, it's green. Instead of the stars, are all Chelsea green faces. So she's got her own American flag, US champion.
And you could literally have Piper and just carrying it around behind her.
Yeah, like so they do all that. She wins. So you've given her like her first title defense and all of that, and it's done in like the cheesiest, corniest way. She even cheats, whatever. But then it's just yet more visuals that get people excited for the day they can just lean in and cheer her.
And Piper and electric chairs are on the ramp.
I mean, that's where we're going eventually. Like, see, nobody ever We should start fantasy booking that.
Good. Yeah, we'll write that down.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to intervene with some other narrative greatness here, because I've just been having a look at the Powerpuff Girls Wikipedia page there, and I know all the people who love coming on this review and getting derailed for
Yeah.
I'll enjoy that. So, for starters, you're Blossom.
I'm Blossom.
You're Blossom, you're Buttercup, and I'm Bubbles, just to clarify. So, you can call me that from now on.
Okay.
That's how you will address me.
Bubbles.
But I'm just reading the origin here.
Go on.
Okay.
And this, sounds great. In 1991, Craig McCracken, then a student of the animation program of Carl Arts, created a drawing of 3 girls on a sheet of orange construction paper as a birthday card design for his brother. The following year, he made the characters protagonists of the short film Whoop-Ass Stew.
I love a whoop-ass.
It's like Lord ties at the Stone Cold.
I'm having big soup for dinner. I might just call that. I'm just going to have my whoop-ass stew.
Sorry, I haven't even given you its full title there.
Oh.
Whoop-Ass Stew, the Whoop-Ass Girls in a Sticky Situation.
That's what I call a sticky situation.
I love it.
There you go.
I love a whoop-ass.
Thanks, Bubbles.
Thank you, Bubbles. Yeah. Cheers, Bubbles.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Blossom and Buttercup.
While we're putting over Bubbles and what was the guy that made Powerpuff Girls?
Craig McCracken.
I know his brother. I know his brother Phil.
Son of
I was thinking of Craig McLaughlin from Neighbours.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Mona. Shout out to the arse formerly known as Jimmy Blade.
Yeah.
Hell of a worker back in the day around the social clubs of the Northeast. And a hell of a hand when it comes to filling in some of the gaps in our knowledge, of which they are many and vast. And this little bit of cement he's done in the brick lane of my brain is, do you remember when we were talking about You Hate Being Slapped Around the Head?
Yeah.
And like games centered around that, like Don't Look at Me, Christian,
Yes.
playing that with Steve Austin, all those sort of things where it's like almost a never-ending game between adults that should know better. He reminded me that the Shane and Edge game is called Mock Mock. And what you've got to do, and it's obviously got to be done, like I couldn't do that to you now, that wouldn't be within the rules of the game, I guess. It's got to be, you've got to go and put your fingers under someone's chin, like that, I guess, not like that, or something like that. Yeah, and go, mock mock. And then that's the game, whoever's doing it is winning. And then it's like, Shane McMahon could be having a very serious meeting, and Edge could run around, mock mock, and then bails and runs away and like, I'm not saying it's good, it's wrestlers. But he did it to Shane as Shane was strapped to a gurney after he tore his quad at WrestleMania. So he's just getting wheeled away. And Edge goes, mock mock.
Oh my god.
Cope,
Hey, Cope.
he keeps...
Cope, hey, Cope. Hang on, there's a button for this.
Hey. You all right?
You know the phrase, keep your light under a bushel?
Yes.
It's Cope, keep his patter there, whatever a bushel is. Because, like, he's got it, hasn't he?
He's got it.
He's still...
He's got it.
It's always there.
Yeah, it wasn't on Dynamite
It's
this week.
always
but,
watching, but he never uses it. That's the brain.
It's buried under a mountain of grit.
Real deep under the grit.
Yeah. Classic January behaviour.
Mocks.
Very nice.
He does that to his
When
chin
you
in the
build.
match.
And maybe that'll get it to Revolution.
Yeah, I don't want it to get to Revolution. I want a pasty off stage. And because I don't want to watch 3 months of it. I don't mind the pasty.
How does that work then with you not having Greg's?
I'm 10 days free on Greg's. So
wow, fair play.
if that pasty, it's at least till March. So if I've this is my equivalent of dry January, is going a month without Greg's. But if I've made it to March, like I wonder if I can get him to get me like a coffee or something, because I want to hold on to that record by then.
Fair play, yeah.
I feel like it's 10 days, right? It's not a lot. I'm not asking for flowers, but I was thinking about this. 10 days. I got my first job when I was 13. So probably from around then, and my parents were pretty cool about like asking me to put a bit of that into a savings or a bank account, but then let me keep the majority of it. So 13. We're all on our 30s fact, but let's just say I'm at the late end of it, around 39-ish. Like, that is...
Ish doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
26 years.
39-ish.
Right, yeah, I think you know where I'm going. 26 years. Now, we had Couplands in Scarborough. Far superior to Greg's.
Yeah.
Right, but I come up to the Northeast at 18. So for the 5 years, between 13 and 18, and then 18 to present, at least January 1st this year, I don't think I've ever gone 10 days without baked goods. What an immense privilege. But B, what the
I think you have. I think at least maybe in the old office for a run. I'm feel sure that you had a little stint off.
My weight goes up and down. I've had good years, bad years and stuff, but The problem with Greg's it's not the problem anymore. It's a different kind of problem, was that it used to be incredibly affordable.
Yeah.
So there was always a sausage roll, and you pass 4. Like every day, to and from work, there are 4 opportunities for me to get a Greg's. That's living up here. That's living up here. That's living up here. I was going to carry it on there.
Sausage roll with the boys.
Diabetes for noise. That's living up here. Yeah, it's like really, really, really constantly. I have been stood in the office making a coffee and looked longingly at Gateshead Interchange. I am not a word of a lie, and thought like, don't do it. Don't do it. And then I have to talk myself out of it because it's like a beacon. It's like my bat signal, but it's a steak bake.
I like the fact that yours and I's biggest
Bat
challenges.
signal.
Yours is pasties, and mine was when I gave up sweets for Lent last year.
Yeah. Like
That's our big challenges.
it's just, privilege that it's just food. Could be boozing, bookies, all that sort of stuff. Shout out if you're doing something in January to try and better yourself.
You're both very brave.
Well, this is it.
Don't call us heroes.
Yeah.
I'll take, I could murder a hero. Our tubs have ran out at home now.
It's all right.
I've still got that big tube of Jaffa cakes to get through before I can start my being good.
There was before Christmas.
I mean, I could start it now, but
I've had to stop myself going in Poundland for a variety of reasons. One of them is quite related to the Greg situation. And before Christmas, they had like when they do like a yard of different chocolates, there's a meter of Reese's. And you get it as like a gift for people that enjoy Reese's. I mean, I'd mulled over just getting one and sort of like working at it, like bringing it into the office. And just like
got to stay late tonight. I've got a big project I'm working on.
going and getting one when nobody's in, and then just breaking the box down into the individual.
Hiding it in one of our many rooms here.
Yeah, and then just
I've
like,
just got to go upstairs to take a call.
I'd have finished it that night. That's the problem. I say I make a job of it. It wouldn't have been a job. I'd have finished it that night. So I didn't buy one, and that was a good decision then. And now I simply have to not go in Poundland for a bit.
Back to SmackDown. We are going to talk about some of the things on there. I have a pitch for you regarding the new bloodline, because it's all obviously gone to pieces.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns has won Tribal Combat. What the hell's happening? I wouldn't have Solo Sikoa be on this show for obvious reasons. Not because he's got to sell the ring. He's just like, he doesn't want to show his face. But I really, really like the idea of quite a few people on SmackDown being like, God, I was so bloody sick of them. Thank God that's over. It's not over, because I just have, basically Jacob Fatu, but also Tama and Tonga deciding anyone who still wants to disrespect Solo can get it. And I thought of the best person, and sorry to this person, Apollo Crews.
I knew you were going to do it.
Wearing not a Bloodline t-shirt, not an OTC, not a Roman Reigns t-shirt, but one he's made himself of him sitting with Roman Reigns, if you may remember, years ago, being like, bloody love that Roman Reigns, me. And then just have Jacob Fatu kill him.
Because he's seen the T-shirt and it sent him nuts. Yeah, love it. Love it.
And he can support the quite right theory that Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman deserve Emmys, of course.
Paul Heyman pitched it, so I might question him. Sir, at the Emmy committee. No, like the idea of the T-shirt is what tips us over the edge, and I don't think they'll do it, sadly. If only they were as creative as we are. But
still time.
I love it, and I do think it's Apollo Crews that is going to ultimately be punished for Roman's sins against the New Bloodline, because they've seemingly had such fun doing it recently. I'll tell you what I do want, and it is relating to this, and indeed one of the other sort of big things on the show, potentially anyway, is this now little thing that Triple H treats himself and us to, which is finding a way to make Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn almost but not quite interact.
Oh, I love it.
I'm so into this at the moment. And last week, or the week before, whenever it was, the SmackDown one where for the very first time, Kevin Owens basically kind of sanctioned the existence of the New Bloodline, because his primary issue is with the, like, he believes Roman Reigns to be kind of at the top of all of this. So he can kind of, in his mind, which again is always justified, is like, they're not really my problem. I've got to cut the head off the snake. The snake is Roman Reigns. And then I've got to go for the people that chose him over me. That's his warped sort of view of all this, which is why he can rationalise parking his prior issues with the Tongans and with Jacob and with Solo. That led to that amazing stunner moment on Raw.
Oh my God.
And he was like the one guy that you didn't think of when you were doing your numbers.
So well shot as well,
Yeah, really well shot. what's he doing on Raw, that kind of thing. The transfer window has led to a bit of like bleeding over between the brands for the likes of your Sami Zayns and the Usos. So yeah, the idea that Sami Zayn's perfect as a good person just comes out like try and save Apollo Crews, and then I don't know, Jacob and Sami, they're the ones that fight out into the crowd, and that's when like Kevin Owens like thing with Cody Rhodes is like about to start, and just to be a dick, he just comes in the ring like boots Apollo Crews to the floor.
Oh,
like when people are particularly cruel. When he did it to Alex Riley that time, you remember Alex Riley off of Twitter?
Rage.
Yeah, said a lot. That's my train of thought. I can't decide my soup if I'm going to have. Am I going to have my bread with butter or not with my soup? What do we think?
Kiss my ass.
Do you know that one? Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Yeah, he beats him out the ring, and then it's just like, oh, but he's right.
Yeah, it just
you've got to have a problem with him like this. You said you'd deal with that situation later, and you keep being like this close.
Kevin Owens should come down in our version with Apollo Crews helping himself up on the ropes. Kevin Owens comes down and he's got no ill will. So that's his scheduled time, like you say. He's got no ill. He's just checking that Cody's not, because we'll get to Cody on the warpath in a second. Checking no Cody around. Walks down. Apollo Crews is not facing him. Oh, bloody hell, turns around and he's got the t-shirt with Roman Reigns. It's like a red rag trouble.
I saw that, dickhead. That's amazing.
Also, we mentioned about Carmelo Hayes' mouth getting him in trouble. I like that as an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's had his things with Sami, with the Usos, Braun Strowman. You can get this work, I think was his phrase.
Yeah.
So I want that to continue tonight. I don't know who it is against.
What if he's just like mouthing off at the SmackDown GM, can't remember his name, and he says, "You're losing control around it." When he did it with Cody, everyone in the locker room saying it, mate. Like he just does that to like the SmackDown GM. He's like, everyone reckons you're losing control. Look at bloodline brawls and all this sort of stuff. You're supposed to be an ex-wrestler. You're supposed to be able to stay on top of this. You're nothing. And I tell you who else is just as bad. Like useless tosser Adam Pearce, and then Poston Pearce walks in and they agree they've done like a transfer, and he's off to Raw, and he's pissed off.
He's off to Raw, which establishes him on Raw just in time, saying, "I thought Goldberg sucked actually back in the day."
Very good. Very good.
Mello would be a great seller for
Never liked Goldberg.
Yeah.
Like, you know the worst era of Nitro when Goldberg was undefeated on it? Well, what could possibly go wrong with me saying that?
And then he decides, he gets into a feud with someone and decides to smash up their car and goes, obviously I wouldn't punch a window through, and only an idiot would do something like that. Kill a company doing that sort of thing.
That's done. Tick.
Finally, an hour into this podcast, we have to talk about the world champion Cody Rhodes.
What are we? Monday Night Raw? Like, hey, Cody, you buy a ticket?
He is not medically cleared, as far as I'm aware.
From embarrassment.
But
that wasn't his hill to die on, was it?
No.
We can agree that
he won the war.
You're
He won
not
the
going to
big
have that
one.
fight, are you? All that's going on backstage at Raw, and there's
Unless it's all
20 days.
But he did say last week, despite not being medically cleared, and obviously he's set to face Kevin Owens in a ladder match, of course, at the Royal Rumble. If he sees Kevin Owens or anyone who looks like Kevin Yow,
Kevin Yow Yow. Cody, you beat up Kevin Yow Yow. I'm sorry, it just sounded so much like
that's where it starts. Please welcome Kevin. Oh, I thought you were going to say Kevin Owens. Sorry.
What if
anyone who is Kevin Owens or looks like Kevin Owens, he's dropping him on sight.
Oh, so not like can't just be somebody called Kevin, like I don't know.
I think
like a former announcer that left the company from Ireland. I think he was. I can't remember that.
Kevin Patrick.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Joe Tessitore tonight.
Joe Tessitore.
I'm not saying that Cody should beat him up. We're very excited for it.
Yeah, he's growing his beard in. He's like, what do you think of this guy? He chins him.
You what?
It's WWE. They will probably do. There he is. And it's just some guy.
Yes.
I mean, if you look a bit like Kevin Owens, and plenty of people do, that's part of Kevin Owens' everyman appeal, and you work in WWE, maybe don't wear a Kevin Owens shirt tonight.
Yes.
That would be my first bit of advice. It was like in 98 when, like, bald people in goatees were wandering around wearing a Steve Austin shirt when all 29 of the Rumble were targeting him. Like, don't get yourself in trouble.
What KO Mania are we up to now?
Oh, good question.
And while you're figuring that out, Wilbourn, what was the name of that guy who used to use the VHS tapes and he looked like Kevin Owens? Rory wrestler. Chris Thompson loved him.
Rory Coyle.
Rory Coyle.
Oh, yeah.
Is that him? Maybe he just happens to pop on the SmackDown tonight.
34. Didn't work. 35.
I've got the answer here, I think.
37, 38, 39, 40. So this is going to be... Is this going to be KO Mania 9? In Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada!
No, dear, that's wrong.
KO Mania 8, I think.
Maybe I missed one.
Because he's got the Randy Orton, Logan, KO from April 2024.
That would have been so great.
KO Mania 8, it would be.
So this one's KO Mania, which was...
Oh, that would have been class, though, if it had been KO Mania 9.
KO Mania...
Just skip one.
Well, 8's a tricky one anyway, because the logo is kind of the same. It bends a bit. And it's from the Indianapolis Hoosier Dome, and it's a double main event, which you get every year now, obviously, because there's 2. But it was Savage and Flair and Hogan and Sid.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a tricky one to, like, I don't know. It didn't really, that KO Mania 7 one. It just says Superstars and Stripes Forever, and then you've got the 3 of them in the match, so he can do what he wants. If it's him and Sammy, I suppose, like, there was one that was just said, I always remembered this as a kid because I just thought the wordplay, a Savage Flair affair. You could have Owen Zane Payne or something like that, and you could just use that kind of, like, sort of similar pattern of words. I don't know. It'll look great.
But someone could be wearing, just happen to be wearing, like, a WrestleMania 8 shirt.
Yeah.
And Cody Rhodes is so angry at that's probably Kevin Owens. If I turn that around, I guarantee that'll be a bloody KO Mania shirt.
Somebody could be wearing a football jersey of the Oklahoma Sooners. It's Jim Ross. Jim Ross is here, and he's wearing an Oklahoma Sooners jersey. Right?
Does he have no conscience? Does he have no heart? Do you have no soul? You son of a bitch!
But problem is, right, what's the state initials for Oklahoma?
Okay.
And Cody's, and he's
Next to a
seen him in
mirror.
the mirror.
Every single one of these is someone stood next to a mirror.
Jim Ross was just checking himself out in the mirror, and Cody's absolutely smashed the out of him.
What about someone who was getting into soccer?
Yeah.
But a bit like I think it was Matthew Botchamania said that someone's, because WWE's on Netflix now, they're like, oh, I've got back into wrestling now, so I've started back at WrestleMania 1 or something.
Oh yeah.
Like just catching up, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm getting into soccer, but I heard it was pretty good in the 90s, so I've started with one of the best World Cups ever.
USA 94?
1998, I wasn't there.
France 98,
I mean, I was
awesome.
there, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
My first World Cup was France 98. And I've just got to, not the finish of, but the bit before the finish of England-Argentina, and there's this prestigious young talent who's run through the entire Argentina team and scored an absolute worldie. And I love him so much, I've got his name on my back.
Jesus Christ.
Wilbourn. That is
Michael Owen.
That is the single stupidest thing you've ever pitched in your life. And can I tell you why?
Why?
Because Michael Owen would not be seen dead near anything resembling cinema. And we know this.
Good point.
He'd feel sick watching SmackDown. He's already had to watch Jurassic Park twice.
Okay.
We got any more?
I particularly like a pundit now
Yep.
who's English but played a lot of his football in Germany and both Manchester teams.
Yeah.
But I prefer his first name to his second name.
Yes.
Hence why.
It's Owen Hargreaves.
Correct.
Is live here at Raw. Speaking of, not Raw or SmackDown, Rory Coyle, who can forget, of course, his brother and former Burnley football manager.
And Bolton manager.
And Bolton football manager, Owen Coyle. And he's like, oh, I'm Rory's brother. He was a wrestler, and I just thought I'd come and check it out. Why are you beating me up?
Yes, Owen Hart, obviously.
What about, they've got a video editor.
Famous Owens.
Quite a famous wrestler.
I really like Jesse Owens.
Go dude, beats him up. Yeah, a famous video editor from the industry is just tinkering, getting a video package together, and he's wearing his own merch.
Kyle O'Reilly.
You got it in one. And it's Kyle O'Reilly, and he gets beaten up because it just says KO.
I've seen something on the old,
When they
Netflix.
both had KO merch in NXT at one point, I'm sure.
Did they?
Because like Owens had that old top of his circulating.
Yeah.
And KO on his shorts and that. It's weird.
It's weaker. Nobody's going to buy that.
Yeah.
What about, as part of our deal with Netflix, we've got some people from, you know how Netflix is just like, oh, where's that classic film from the mid-noughties that I...
Yeah.
And we're just going to get some, you know, they quite like celebrities on WWE. I'm not sure if you noticed. So we're going to get some more almost guest hosts because the SmackDown GM, I can't remember what his name is busy making sure no one can find Kevin Owens or whatever. And so we're going to have the star... Hang on. Good Lord. Have the star of a famous 2005 film, not Vince Vaughn, the other one, regarding two wild boys who love crashing weddings.
It's Owen Wilson. Yeah, maybe. Well, what about, you know how they're amazing with sponsors now?
I also really like when I search famous Owens and go on famous birthdays, which obviously previously informed us, I'm fairly certain that Simon Miller's net worth is between $3 and $5 million.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
Who's the most famous Owens? I mean, I'd put Owen Hart 9th. I'd put Owen Farrell, the rugby player, 14th. Owen Wilson 3rd. Probably Owen Olivers, the big TikTok star. That's probably the most famous Owen I can think of.
Like, somebody might, I mean, probably not listening to those right now. They've switched off a long time ago.
Yeah,
somebody
we're
might
fine.
think that's true. Like, we're old now. We're all in our 30s facts, but we're not going to know who these TikTok stars are. They're the real celebrities now, aren't they?
What about journalist Owen Jones?
Yeah, I've got a complex relationship with Owen Jones's work.
Owen Teale, the actor off of Game of Thrones.
Don't know him.
He was for the watch. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, he was the kind of kidless
that
Jay White.
technology back in Game of Thrones time.
Don't.
I'm all for it, mate.
Yeah, there's a representative. You know the sponsors on the ring now.
Yes.
Well, there isn't any on SmackDown yet, is there? It was blue.
No.
This week. The first sponsor is going to be revealed, and it's a very famous juice company, Squash. And there's a representative from the brand has actually set up a stall where you can get yourself a free cup of Squash, right? But bloody hell, the letters.
I know what this
is. Yeah. Well. So the letters have fallen down apart from the only two, which is the initials. So like the poor representative of Kiora gets beaten out of them by Cody Rhodes because their Ia and Ra have fallen off.
That's going to get on Bongo and I changed my mind the last time. What am I doing? Well, you heard it here first. Let us know your thoughts on who Cody Rhodes is going to beat up, mistaking them for Kevin Owens tonight on SmackDown. And, well, everything we've discussed in the comment section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Grok, that's got a K and an O in it as well.
Yeah, he can beat up Grok from this.
And kick his ass, Cody. You can follow both of us, all three of us, in fact, on X. You can follow Michael Hamflett at...
Grok could probably book itself in a Hell in a Cell 6-way at Michael Hamflett.
Follow our brilliant and long-suffering producer, Adam Nicholas, at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The Dadleys are doing a duo...
Yeah.
What did I say earlier to wind him up?
I wouldn't make it alliterative.
Okay. They're doing a two-man podcast a little bit later on today, and you've got Wrestle Culture with a hashtag bloody good quiz coming your way. But for now, this has been the SmackDown preview, where, of course, we've just talked about Cody Rhodes on the warpath, Carmelo Hayes' mouth getting him into trouble. How does the new bloodline recover from what happened on Monday? Will Michin get a title shot? Can LA regain the US title? And what's next for new champ Tiffany Stratton?
The SmackDown preview. It's got all this and KO much more.
See you soon.